Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Painkiller, and we are about to do level 3 of chapter 4, Babel, and let's get started. And here we are. Now, like I said in the previous level, we need to collect all ammo boxes for the tarot card in this level, which on the one hand is kind of annoying, but on the other, we do get to have a lot of ammo during the entire level that way, which is a problem that was never a problem in any of the other levels, but let's just be happy about it. Also, there's a barrel up there, and we're gonna shoot that barrel because it explodes and kills that guy that spawns the moment we get to roughly this area. And I kill him first because he has a ranged attack, and there's a couple of enemies here, and I'd rather not get shot in the back repeatedly while trying to take care of this armada of goons over here. Unfortunately, there was a whole bunch of shotgun ammo immediately at the start, which means that taking care of all these guys is pretty easy. Might as well grab all these souls while we're at it, and also kill that guy who also has a ranged attack and also has a barrel sitting next to him. Now, speaking of towers, if you look slightly to the left, you can vaguely see the glow of a holy item over there in that tower. That tower is relevant to an interesting story, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Until then, I'm gonna make sure to pick up every ammo box in this first area over here. These ones are kind of hard to see, but they are still very important because we need to have 14 ammo boxes before we go to what is pretty obviously the next area. That is how many there are here, and I'd rather not have to go back anywhere in this level because backtracking in this level can be a bit tedious. 3 more over here. We have a lot of explosions right now, already 45 rockets, which is very nice. And I'm actually going to make a somewhat wide berth around this place because if you go to the middle there, enemies will start spawning all around you, and I don't really want to deal with that until I have gotten all the ammo. I should be at 14, and indeed I am. 14 out of 95, which is good. So we can now go to the middle, pick up that armor, and immediately jump out of the way because there's quite a lot of enemies that spawn here. So these guys are kind of annoying. If you shoot them in their tummy with a stake gun, they do die rather quickly though, so all in all, there's not much to worry about, but it is something to consider. If you are having difficulty with them, just shoot them with your nice and trusty freeze ray, which is also conveniently attached to this shotgun. And oh my god, these guys are just destroying me right now. They are pretty good with their range attack, unfortunately. They shoot 3 bolts and can be rather tedious to avoid. But fortunately, we have a lot of rockets, and they are quite weak to rockets as it turns out, so all in all, we shouldn't be in too much trouble. It's a shame that we lost quite a lot of armor there, but what are you going to do? There's 4 armors in the level, and most likely, even though we lost pretty much all our armor here, we're probably not even going to pick it all up in the entire level, so it doesn't really matter too much. And I'm just going to grab that health and make my way to these guys, which have been shooting at us for quite a while now. But again, we have missiles, and missiles are stronger than the shield. And there's only really one enemy left who's just sort of hanging out over there. Gonna freeze him just to show off that they do die rather easily. If you don't have any freeze bullets left, then I would recommend just using the stake gun and shooting them in their tummy. But we had that ammo left, so I did shoot him there. Now, before we go into that red circle of checkpointness, I'm actually going to jump down here to a great secret because it's filled with jumping and everything's probably going to go wrong. But that's what video editing is for. First of all, I'm going to jump down there and try to land on that. And naturally, I failed. Try to land on that. There we go. Now, one nice thing is that if you fail a jumping puzzle here, both the calm music and battle music starts playing through each other. So that's pretty great. From here, I'm actually going to jump there. And quick save again, because you can already see the holy item. And from here, I'm going to try to jump on that tiny beam over there. Nope. Let's try it again. There we go. It's really easy to fall off from this as well. Like, when you jump on top of it, this is a good chance you'll just immediately fall down again. And from here, you sort of need to try to jump on the side of this thing, because just holding forward and jumping doesn't really work at all. Oh, or sometimes it does, apparently. Fair enough. Usually I try to just jump somewhere on the side here. It seems to be a little bit easier than trying to jump, well, like that, because that's the first time that ever worked for me. So, yeah. If just holding forward and jumping doesn't work for you, then I would recommend trying to jump on that. Now I'm going to go over here because it initiates battle, and then maybe those 2 songs playing at the same time will stop, which would be good. And we get a bunch of dogs. These dogs fortunately don't do their rolling attack, which is very nice. They do jump towards you though, and can be a little bit scary. And the moment I say they don't use that attack, they immediately do it. And killing all of those guys spawns the bigger dog, but he is also quite weak to being frozen. And there is a bunch of shurikens over here, which put our ammo to 230, meaning we could use that if we so desired. I don't really desire to use it very much, but it's a thing we could do. Having gotten that, we can make our way to a particular item I was talking about seconds ago, which was that holy item over there. And we're gonna do that by jumping up here and trying to land on this platform. This can be a little bit tedious because there's a good chance I'll just get blocked by an invisible wall here. But fortunately we didn't. If you can't make this jump, you can actually use that pot over there and move it to the wall down there. Because you can see some weird yellow glow, and if we jump into it, it's actually a teleporter, which takes us to the top of this tower. And conveniently, there's also a health power up over here. So that's very nice. Now, the thing about there being a story to that particular secret is that pretty much every guide online has a really elaborate way of getting to that secret, which I was like, that can't be right. Which I'll get to when we reach pretty much the next area right here. But first, we're going to get this checkpoint. And there's a whole bunch of barrels. I'm going to shoot these barrels. Preferably you shoot those barrels with the rocket launcher, but I forgot to do that. So instead, we just sort of shot it with a stake gun. Also look out for barrels falling down here, because there are a couple barrels that just sort of catch fire and try to get you that way. But I don't know where they are. There they go. You don't want to get hit by those. Those are pretty much the same insta-kill barrels we've seen many times before, and you don't want to get hit by that. And our souls are at a nice 49 in a second, which is actually really convenient because there is a rather tricky area coming up. Now, before we go to that tricky area, though, let's look at this. There's a whole bunch of crushers going up and down, and you can actually move those crushers just by walking into them. I'm not really sure why. And pretty much every guide says to beat the entire level and then move those crushers all the way to that tower and then use the Painkiller to jump all the way up. And to me, that was like, why? That doesn't make any sense compared to pretty much every other secret we've seen so far in the game. So fortunately that teleport is there and it makes it a lot easier. Now moving forward, there's a whole bunch of ammo here. I'll pick that up later because I'm actually going to just shoot these guys here and get demon mode. And with that demon mode, we're going to try to kill as many enemies as possible here. There's a lot of enemies here, and having demon mode for this is wonderful. This is pretty much one of the best places in the level to have demon mode at pretty much any point in time. And we're going to have to walk back after this anyway, so we're going to be able to grab the ammo that we've missed in a pretty short period of time anyway, so it's really nothing to worry about at all. And we killed a lot of enemies there. You can pretty much check the enemy counter from before we got demon mode and after we got demon mode, and it's pretty crazy how many enemies there were. And I'm just gonna go crazy with rockets here as well, just because we're gonna get so many of those in this level anyway. It doesn't really matter how many you fire, because like right here there's some rockets waiting for us as well, and some more. We're already at 38 again, and we're definitely fine. I'm not really worried about my health because we killed pretty much most of the enemies here, and we're gonna get some health back along with some armor once we get through this. As you can see over there, there's another 100 health power up, and with another I mean the first one of the level, really. There was not any other ones previously, for as far as I know, but that's fine. And the reason we're going here is because there is a lot of ammo here, and of course it was a secret area, so we wanted to go there anyway. But this pretty much fills up all of our ammo for just almost every gun as well, and it gives us a lot more freezing bullets, which is always nice to have. And having gotten that, we can go all the way back again. And of course we need the ammo for the tarot card, as I've said several times before. And as we jump back, I'm actually just going to pay close attention to this wall, because that's where all the ammo boxes are. There's some more, and we're going to see quite a bunch over here for several of our guns. And of course we have to pick all of those up. We're not really going to use the stake gun much, but there's an oddly large amount of ammo for it in this level. up to the point where we're actually just gonna have to shoot our gun to pick up more ammo boxes, which I think was always kind of a silly thing to do, and is pretty much the main reason why I never bothered with getting all ammo boxes and everything, just because there's usually way more than you actually use anyway, so it always just seemed a bit pointless to me. I'm just gonna quick save here because these crushers can be a bit odd. They can move at varying speeds, and they do pretty much instantly kill you if you do get crushed by them, and I don't really want that to happen. Like, that was a lucky stroke right there. Yeah. And they move sort of inconsistent speeds as well. It's not a great place to be in. Fortunately, we somehow didn't die, and there's a whole bunch of shotgun ammo which we can't pick up without shooting our gun, which is unfortunate, but it's fine because we're gonna get so much of it anyway. Anyway, as we go upwards, there's a bunch of dogs with barrels on their backs. They're not fun. They're not fun at all, and they take a surprisingly large amount of damage for some reason right now. And you don't really want that to happen, as you can see what happened to my health just now. So, not really sure why they took that many shots. Usually they don't take nearly as much, but what are you gonna do? Video games. Stuff like that just sort of happens every now and then, so it's hopefully not too much of a problem. I do believe there's actually some health up here anyway, so we probably don't need to worry about anything at all. But just in case, I am going to take it a little bit safe here. There's going to be quite a lot of enemies here regardless, and some of them have range attacks, which is always bad. Fortunately, the guys with the range attack do drop a fair amount of health as well. They drop the red souls rather than the green ones, and that makes it a little bit more bearable to get hit by these guys. But obviously, you'd rather just not get hit at all. Let's try to stay close to when the souls do drop, because we want to get as much health as possible, because we lost a little bit too much there. If you want to have a little bit of an easier time here, you can actually funnel most of the enemies just through those holes on the sides there. But right now, I just want to make sure I pick up as many of those red souls as possible. And might as well grab that armor over there as well. And I'm just going to go over here and shoot some rockets in this general direction. Usually they don't try to go through any other holes than the one right in front of you, so you just gotta make sure nothing really spawns in your face. And as long as that happens, you should be fine, really. I think our health is actually looking pretty okay right now, so I'm just gonna focus more on actually killing the enemies rather than picking up their souls now. And I think we should be fine. There's not much to worry about right here. Just gonna try to kill this guy with some stake guns, but it didn't really work out, unfortunately. Fortunately, we do have other ammo types, and they usually do the job quite well. And there's a very good chance one of the enemies gets stuck under a staircase here as well, which is a little bit silly, but what are you gonna do? Now, the remaining ammo boxes for this room are all around this pillar in the middle over here. So I'm just gonna make a large circle around it to make sure I've picked up everything. And I think we should be good over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went a full circle there. And there's nothing else in the entire room there, so just as long as you make that circle, everything should be fine. And up here is some more. Another stake gun thing we couldn't pick up. Even more shotgun ammo. We've pretty much exclusively been using the shotgun and the rocket launcher, and we're both just pretty much filled up entirely, so it's pretty silly. And this is where I'm actually going to start using my tarot card for a couple of reasons. One is this. This is a pretty crazy area, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. And this takes care of it quite well, actually. As you can see, there's a lot of explosions and everything is very much dead. But more importantly is the area that's actually coming up. You can sort of vaguely hear the slow motion effect of the checkpoint opening, which is nice. But the next area is actually, the floor is going to break down. And it's a little bit more safe with the slowdown effect to do this. Because this is where a secret area is going to be. Like, this entire area is just going to break apart. And it's actually rather tricky to take care of. But if you have slow motion, it just seems to be a little bit safer to get to this particular area. And this particular area, for one, doesn't break down. And for two, when we move a little bit further ahead, there's a holy item, and it's a secret area, and we just skip that entire area pretty much. Now, there is a checkpoint over there. I will be going there in a second, but before we do that, we're actually gonna go to an oddly colored area over here, which has another ladder, which is kind of hard to see, just like the previous one, with one ammo box, which is pretty much the most important part, but also some more health, which is just very nice to have, and another holy item as well, in case you are running low on money somehow. And having gotten that, we're gonna just get this checkpoint and kill everything in this room. There's a couple of these big dudes over here. They're pretty much the main concern in this room because all the other enemies are sort of just turn around in a way that they can't really do anything. I'm gonna try not to get demon mode here, but this guy's not cooperating at all. Jeez. There we go. I don't want to get demon mode here at all because there's barely any enemies here. I'd rather have it in the next area where we're actually gonna fight quite a lot of enemies. That guy is strong. And take care of the guy in the middle. The dude in the middle is standing on some weird chandelier and it falls down, which breaks the glass underneath this room, which is how we're going to progress further in the level. And I'm just going to make another circle through this room because there is, again, quite a lot of ammo on this particular floor. And we want to make sure we grab everything because otherwise you're going to have to do some rather annoying backtracking, which I just don't really enjoy doing very much in this level. Like, all the backtracking pretty much requires you to go through the crushers again, and it's just a bit tedious, really. But I think we've got everything on this floor, so I'm actually going to jump down. Rather than jumping down all the way down, we're actually going to try to jump down to that floor down here. Because there's another 10 ammo boxes waiting for us over here, which is, again, pretty easily missable because right now, this is the only way to get these ammo boxes. When you've beaten the entire level, all the doors will open, including these, and there's just several easier ways to get to this particular place, which are a little bit easier to see. But again, it's ammo, so I'd rather just grab it before we've killed all the enemies. And we are currently at 84. I believe that's the correct number of ammo boxes we need to have right now. And I'm going to jump down, which spawns the remaining enemies of this level. And I want to have demon mode right now because there is a rather large amount of stuff right here. It's very easy to miss some of the enemies here because some of them can get stuck behind walls, unfortunately. But I'm going to try to kill as many as possible. Not really sure what the sound is glitching out right now, but what are you going to do? Video games are confusing and hard to make, and sometimes things go wrong. But just going to make sure as much stuff as possible dies. A whole bunch of dogs right now, which we're having demon mode for, which is very nice. And I think that was pretty much our main concern. Yeah, this is pretty much the last wave of enemies right here, which are very easily taken care of with our ice bullets. And that opens the level exit in the middle. But before we go there, we're actually going to grab all of this. A whole bunch of ammo for several weapons here. And we want all of it. All the shotgun ammo. And I hope I did this right. Yes, we've got all ammo found. And apparently all armor is found, which is kind of a surprise because usually the level goes decently enough that that doesn't happen. But again, if you somehow did mess up and miss the ammo on this particular floor, this door is open now and it's a little bit easier to reach now than it was previously. Any other time this door is, I believe, just closed until you've killed all the enemies in the level. But fortunately, we've got everything so we can jump into the level exit. Apparently we took 16 minutes roughly, which sounds about right, and we unlocked a tarot card, which is double time bonus. Golden cards last 20 seconds longer, which is pretty good. It's definitely better than 10 seconds, obviously. And that takes us to Chapter 4, Level 5, rather than Level 4. Level 4 is locked. It's only in Abyss difficulty. But fortunately, I have prepared a save file in Abyss difficulty just for this very occasion. So I hope you enjoyed this so far. The next time we play, we are going to do Chapter 4, Level 4, which is the Forest. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.